The moment someone can control your emotions, they own a piece of your mind. Every insult, every notification, every argument is bait. And the most dangerous people in the world know one thing: your reaction is their power. But what happens when you stop reacting? Remember, you live in a world addicted to attention. Social media fights for your emotions. Politicians fight for your outrage. Advertisers fight for your insecurities. And toxic people fight for your reactions. Every day, someone is always trying to pull your mind into chaos. A disrespectful comment, a manipulative text, a fake online image designed to trigger envy, a relationship built on emotional games. And without realizing it, you begin reacting to everything, defending yourself, explaining yourself, proving yourself. But here is the truth nobody teaches you. Not every battle deserves your response. Some people do not want understanding. They want access to your emotional state. And once they control your emotions, they control your attention. That is why Niccolo Machiavelli understood silence better than most modern minds ever will. He said, "Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality, because people are easily manipulated by emotion." And in this video, you will understand why ignoring people can become your most ruthless form of power. Chapter 1. The world profits from your reaction. Every time you open your phone, a war begins. Not a war for truth, a war for your attention. Algorithms study your anger. Advertisements study your fears. Influencers study your insecurities. And the more emotional you become, the more predictable you are. Think carefully. Why does outrage spread faster than wisdom? Why do toxic relationships feel addictive? Why does controversy dominate every platform? Because emotional people are easier to control. A calm mind asks questions. An emotional mind reacts instantly. That reaction becomes profit. Profit for corporations. Profit for politicians. Profit for manipulative individuals. Your attention has become currency. And the people who master emotional manipulation become rich from your lack of discipline. This is why some people intentionally provoke you, not because they are stronger than you, but because they know something dangerous. If they can control your emotions, they can control your focus. Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago by saying, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." In modern terms, your environment shapes your mind. And if you constantly surround yourself with emotional chaos, you slowly lose the ability to think clearly. Chapter 2. Why silence terrifies people. Most people expect resistance. If they insult you, they expect anger. If they ignore you, they expect desperation. If they provoke you, and they expect emotional collapse. But when you remain silent, something strange happens. Their confidence begins to crack, because silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is psychologically terrifying. Your lack of reaction forces people to confront themselves. They begin replaying conversations, overthinking your silence, questioning their own importance, because emotionally manipulative people survive on attention. Without your reaction, their power weakens. That is why emotionally disciplined people appear intimidating. Not because they speak loudly, but because they do not react impulsively. A person who controls their emotions becomes unpredictable, and unpredictable people are difficult to manipulate. Look at powerful leaders, elite negotiators, cold strategists. They rarely explain themselves emotionally. They observe, they wait. They understand that silence can reveal more than arguments ever could. And in relationships, this becomes even more dangerous, because the person who needs validation first usually loses control first. And if you've stayed with us until this point and found value in this video, we truly love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your support, perspective, and engagement help keep these videos alive. Kindly subscribe to Mind's Goals and join us for more powerful conversations that will change the way you see life forever. Chapter 3. The Psychology of Manipulation. Manipulation rarely looks violent in the beginning. Sometimes it looks attractive. A charming person who gives you attention. then suddenly withdraws it. A lover who becomes distant to make you chase harder. A friend who uses guilt to control your decisions. A social media influencer who creates insecurity, then sells confidence back to you. This is emotional engineering, and most people never notice it happening. Because humans are wired to seek approval. You want to feel chosen, valued, important. Manipulators understand this deeply. That is why they study your emotional triggers, your fears, your loneliness, your desire for validation. And once they discover what controls you, they pull those emotional strings repeatedly until your peace depends on their approval. But the moment you emotionally detach, their strategy begins to fail. Not because you stopped caring, because you stopped surrendering control of your emotions. Machiavelli once wrote, "Whoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times." And in today's world, emotional discipline is survival. Because modern society rewards emotional impulsiveness while quietly destroying emotionally reactive people. Chapter 4. The cost of responding to everything. You were never designed to carry every opinion about yourself. But social media changed that. Now strangers can enter your mind instantly. A comment ruins your mood. A post creates jealousy. An argument steals your peace for hours. And slowly, you become emotionally exhausted. Not because life defeated you, because distractions consumed you. Every unnecessary argument drains mental energy. Every emotional reaction steals focus from your purpose. This is why some people remain stuck for years. They spend their lives reacting instead of building, reacting to criticism, reacting to gossip, reacting to betrayal, reacting to people who never intended to understand them. But powerful people learn a painful lesson. You cannot grow while emotionally attached to every opinion around you. Sometimes, peace requires distance. Sometimes, growth requires silence. And sometimes, the strongest response is no response at all. Because silence is not weakness. It is self-control. Here is the big secret nobody tells you. Ignoring people is not about arrogance. It is about protecting your attention. Your attention shapes your future. Whatever controls your focus, controls your life. And most people lose themselves reacting to distractions designed by others. They fight battles that never mattered, defend themselves to people committed to misunderstanding them, beg for validation from emotionally unavailable people. Meanwhile, their dreams slowly disappear. But the moment you stop reacting to everything, you reclaim power. You begin thinking clearly, moving strategically, protecting your peace. And suddenly, the same people who once manipulated you can no longer reach your mind. That is true power. Not dominance over others, dominance over yourself. Because the person who masters emotional control becomes impossible to manipulate. Think on this. One day, you will look back and realize most arguments were distractions. Most emotional battles were traps. And most people never deserved access to your peace. You will stop explaining yourself endlessly. Stop reacting to every insult. Stop chasing closure from emotionally immature people. And in that silence, you will discover clarity. Because silence is not empty. It is selective. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. The fool reacts instantly. The wise observe quietly." So the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this. Not every battle deserves a response. Sometimes, the most ruthless power is your silence.